Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending when you're watching this. Uh, Hope you all doing great. Not a lot of people yet. Not a lot of great price action today as well, so a bit boring maybe. And it's summer. Right? You don't all have to just to keep staring at the screen all day, right? Well, glad to see you, Raven. Thank you for not letting me alone, please. And for 00 as well. Well, for once, maybe I can think about asking to you how to like, subscribe if you didn't already, or watch a bit of the content before to make sure you like it. And I always forget to catch up on this kind of stuff. Oh, anyway, let's dive right into it, right? I think I'm gonna keep this fairly quick, if possible, if I can. Got bored out today as well, Robin. Yeah, can understand that as well. So I'm starting here just with daily chart of Bitcoin because there's a point that I find decently significant here. Just, we had our preliminary supply here on the block, the first consolidation on this big run-up, right? The first significant supplier that's slowed down the trend visible on this daily. And so it is a preliminary supply, for a Wyckoff wording, right? Reaccumulation or distribution, that doesn't change it. But this daily order block or daily level for the low, I've been important so far. I mean, we never closed below that daily level until, well, very slightly last Tuesday, but otherwise until yesterday, right? And for now, we are kept below this level. And for me, that's kind of a sign of weakness. You can also see we're starting to trend below the 21 daily moving average. It's kind of normal because we are going sideways for weeks, so at some point it's normal to get closer to the moving average and eventually go under it as we have some swings. Now, I can give a biopsy. For me, I'm seeing weakness, I believe. It's never sure you are at the low of the range. For now, we're not really dropping, but there's some kind of lack of interest, and at the same time, there's big swings on the open interest exposure and derivative. But that's data that more or less manipulated or can be sometimes a bit misleading. So I think there is a move that is nearing, an expansion that is nearing. Obviously, we have been basically going sideways down all week, right? The past few weeks we at least range from high to lows of the range, and this week we didn't, or even intermediary swing. Okay, this week it was a lot tighter. Now the question obviously is, are we gonna expand to the high or are we going to break down? And if we expand to the high, are we gonna just do another rotation, a lower high, another higher SFP, or even a breakout? I'm feeling right now, I think my feeling is that I'm slightly inclined to think we could drop any time. I think we will drop lower overall at some point. But I think we can still range here a bit, take supply above, retest. But I think we will not breach a high again. I am not expecting another SFP if we start to break that high. Well, I can see an SFP on the lower time frame, but if we reach that high at 31,800, 900, I think we're going for a step up, right? But yeah, I'm leaning slightly more for downside. I'm gonna review the counts on different time frame, and we'll see what there. We can also try to read lower time frame stuff. Now we have a nice range. At least we can try to study in a Wyckoff term on here, but even locally a bit on the lower time frame. It's not extremely not extremely obvious to me because there is rather low volume, so not necessarily giving a strong bias because you just had support, you didn't really break it. The low volume show kind of lack of interest. At the same time, lack of interest in selling and buying, probably. But that would suggest me we need still to go lower just to find some more capitulation should this be bullish. And if it is not, that might mean there is not enough buyer interest for distribution, so it's getting slow until there is no more buyer and it end up by breaking down, or even if it gets another leg before, but you know, now we barely have a range structure. At least the high is pretty straightforward, the low are a bit weaker. Right now we are attempting to change market structure. But let's dive into the count maybe right away, right? Trapped long high. What is the flow rate of a standard tap? What does that even mean? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. If you can explain. Okay. Much better music, great deep house background instead of that chill stuff. Hey, Brandy Beats, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, I probably need to find another playlist soon because that one I've been playing for some weeks already. Yeah, I agree. It's a bit more energetic, so less risk for me to fall asleep while I'm streaming, and so for you as well. Good to be calm on the TA, but it's good also to have a bit of energy, of course. So a quick recap where we are here. Main bias. I'm not gonna review the other mid time frame, high time frame count here. The main one is this one, right? The fact that we print a wave 1, a 2, and a subwave 1, and a subwave 2, and here a subwave 1 and a subwave 2. We might consider this consolidation already very shallow wave 2. I think even if that's the case, I think we should dip at least a bit lower still. Feeling unfinished business, but anyway, I mean, that's a possibility I cannot really predict right now. If I start to see expansion, then I will have to consider it more. If we breach a high again and there is volume commitment, etc. Or maybe it would be time to be a bit more aggressive on the long side and just let things play out until trying to short any reversal, right? The idea is that my main idea is that we're still into wave 2, and I would like to see a bit more consolidation, flush, whatever, before going for the biggest expansion upside, right? Which I believe will happen until proven otherwise. I might maybe just mention one alternative count. But you know, it is not impossible to have a complete impulse here, so maybe it will drop lower, but yeah, for now bias is I'm a buyer between 24,750 and where we are, right? I'm a spot buyer, right? And overall I'm still inclined to look for long and later part of my position running in case it do reverse before I'm rightfully reading it as a finish correction. Sipping my drink. And so here, yeah, locally we have what SC1. Yeah, the idea is that maybe wave 1 is finished here, and with a flat, it's possible it is finished. And with a bit of shenanigan we are currently seeing on the open interest and the low volume commitment, on spot especially, but yeah, it's complicated to talk about low volume commitment when you got more than 10,000 half a billion swings of open interest exposure. It seems the market is getting bored. At the same time, it's summer. We are in the middle of summer, August. So maybe a bit of lack of interest now, or lack of participation rather than interest. Considering the fact that we are in summer as well, it seems more sensible as well that things should correct and not go for an expansion, but nothing impossible. And I have that count as one, that count as a main one, right? The fact that we finished wave 1 here with this consolidation as a wave 4, and this impulsive move down as well, either wave 1 or wave A, right? Either A, that could be B, or B could go higher, and we go for C, or for 3, or 5, and this can run, I'll be more bearish, but we'll read this more as a wave A, right? Question is, maybe, is this really finished here? It's possible, it's extend a bit more down. What triggered me, especially here on the lower time frame, is the impulsive shape here. So maybe we have a truncation, and that could be a truncated fifth, maybe, because it looked clearly ABC here up. I mean, we have one wave up, a consolidation, another wave up, so it looked corrective. And the downside here, it's not debatable. It is an impulsive move, right? It is 5 waves with a big 3, with big volume. Divergence at the bottom. It's like one of the cleanest impulse you can read, right? What I want to mean is, well, as it is not the low, you know, and you have corrective up, it's kind of tricky to read this as a finish of an impulse down, and this as a new beginning as a one, and this as a correction of that move up. If I'm approaching this just simply based on an Elliottician highs, with Elliottician highs, I can only see this move up as corrective and this one as impulsive, and so this need to breach before this, in theory. I have some idea, but yeah, let's come back on this, because you know there's a possibility on the higher time frame. Now I'm trying to finish this and see what we can read from our current the most significant high on that time frame, where we can start to read different possibility. Full disclosure, I'm short right now. I'm a little short for now. I'm just aiming for the low and see the reaction. And I'm short from higher with for now stop loss above this high as well, to reconsider if with FB. But I will dive into this. So yeah, can I count finish impulse here? Yes, I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Low time frame works. Okay, we have an expanding diagonal here as an interesting study case if you want to zoom in for the fifth wave of the third. And here look like a bit like an expanding. It's expanding, but it's just a classic, kind of a classic impulse. What does that tell me? Well, no, that tells me that it does work for the case of flats here. Finish correction, and this is a low that will not breach. If I'm focusing on this part, right? With the beginning here, it's a bit more tricky, but if I'm focusing on this, yeah, there is a case where this is a finish correction, and there is a very bullish case that say we have a 1, we have a 2, and we are starting a very big increase here. Honestly, if we start to get above the high, considering when we are right now, in term, I mean, yeah, well, what time it is, time of the year, I might be inclined to consider an alternative count where this is still a wave 3 and this is still a wave 4, you know, from the June bottom, and we maybe still have one more high. It's definitely not my favorite, but just to, yeah, maybe needed to mention it. But I'm getting away of my tracks here. So I was telling, yeah, finish impulse potentially as a wave A, this potentially as a wave B. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that we could indeed break down, as long as we don't breach this week high, right? Not the weekend one, but this one, the one at 30,400 from Tuesday. As long as this doesn't breach, there is definitely a case where we have wave 1 of that wave C right now, and we are working on the 2. 2 could be in. I think we are still a move up, and so that would most likely be a short opportunity if that come, by the way. You know, take profit, sensible market structure change usually on the SFP over significant low. PF's value are high here, but if we don't go higher, I will, at least be aiming for the 1-1 extension, pretty close to range POC. So 28, and potentially can even dip lower. Right, that depends of how it build up if it happen. Because in that case, I will count the C as a 1, as a 2. Does it find a bit of support here? And it will do 5-ish like this, or do we see something more aggressive, barely support, it continue a lot more? I love that. And continue directly to the POC and find support only there. 618, you know. 1618 or 2618 potential for 3 if that play out that way, and then it can extend on the 5th. I'm slightly leaning for this right now, but I'm really seriously considering something a bit more tricky, because the liquidity above 30,445 here on a linear contract seems extremely tasty. Talking about that one. So those two high from the week, from this week and last weekend. How could we do this? Well, let me hide that count for now. Just keep in mind, we might have a wave A finished here. And the idea is somewhere in one of this unnamed grouped. No, that was so the count for today. Okay, that one. Zooming in, the more we zoom, the more it gets tricky, the more we get options. Still have confluences with tradable trigger, right? So I'm just checking quickly. Okay. No, I'm not sure we dropped more. Anyway, let me continue on that. What is that count? Well, it is the idea that this move up is just part of a wave B, and again, that's how you do what you do when you have this kind of tricky, potentially tricky structure. By tricky, I mean what I explained at the beginning. We have a clear 3-wave up, corrective up, clear impulsive down that didn't finish anything. So in theory, I should be betting on a lower high to break this. But there is always a tricky count over there. It can more the same. So here we have an impulse that, okay, we have 1, 2, 3 move ups. We don't have overlap. Okay, we have an impulse. Potentially a 1 or an 8. In that case, rather an 8. But this could be wave B as an ABC, and so the 5 waves down becomes a C of the P, which allow us to still get upside. As I'm missing, not that I'm missing confluence. So there is a POC here, depending if tick size in the exchange, but there's a high volume node here, the 1-1 extension, 90%. So of wave A projected from wave B. In theory, that's a preferable target for C. What I think, with how it's structuring here, if this is the right count ABC, I would be looking to bridge just to highs, and you should be looking to print some kind of 5 waves up, right? And that become even more tricky. After that become you're doing the same things, the same trap for beginner negotiation, where you have 5 waves up. So you say, okay, I've got 5 waves up, I got a low, now I should be buying the retrace, because that cannot be a finish. Yes, it is. Yes, it can. As a wave C. Just that I don't have the best confluences here for my fib target. This is the trappy down that I'm keeping in mind. Not necessarily my favorites, but it is especially in case of an SFP of this 30,400. Like I said, for now I have my stop losses on my short above the highs, but I'm remaining open to short an SFP of this or failed auction, even if it extends a bit higher. It's that to trade back into. And here I already have an explanation what could be the structure that explains this kind of move. Hope this is clear enough. Raven, did you see short-term frame on OnlyFans? No, OF to make you feel confident to short this way on order flow. I took profit really quick in close out since I was waiting to take out the wick. I see something on the order flow that made me trigger the short earlier that I shared inside the group. Others really just a ballsy trade. Is that a word? Ballsy? Yeah, order flow. Thanks. I read so much talk about OnlyFans all the time on Twitter. That acronym, anyway. No, it was not necessarily obvious in the order flow. There was this template from Luke, interestingly, which I find incorrectly is just a kind of divergence or liquidity on delta. Oh, not the one today, the one yesterday at 35. Why did I I shorted during the... No, it was... Yeah, my stop loss above here are as well from short from higher, right? I did take a short here yesterday live, during the live stream for the group. It was purely based on Elliott Wave, I think. There was a bit of... No, there was an obvious short building up. Where are we? Yeah. It was looking really bearish to me. You have your very huge increase on open interest on inverse here, like this, and you have your increase on funding as well. It was kind of an obvious short for me, but I thought it was going for one more wave, so I shorted a wave, the top of a third wave, but sometime I do that. I have my lower time frame count. I'm gonna come back on the count. I just start to short a bit early the third wave, because sometimes, things get front run compared to what we expect. But yeah, this big increase in open interest here, a lot of buys, and order flow itself, I mean, it's also the flow, but here, yeah, there was a lot of short gotten squeezed, a lot of open interest dropping on linear contracts, where we saw a lot of increase during the move down. Now it was taking profits, it was getting squeezed. Inverse was already squeezed and starting to grow again, a big position. When I see this big increase on open interest like this, you know, that kind of increase the chance of a short squeeze. When you see such an increase in a short period of time, usually mean that you're gonna have a reversal in a very low time frame. Did we had no, this was just buying short squeeze, buying at the top. It was getting exhausted. And you know that I had a count here, it's still here. So initially I had one more extension into this. I was looking to get that high already, the Sunday or Saturday high. And I was looking at this as a surge, right? And I did long again here and here to fail long. But I had that as a count initially. So I shorted just to play a third wave. Okay, I'm gonna start to see there's some extension, etc. And I ended up going much lower. It was as well a protection because I had long, I don't remember exactly where, and I was aiming to take profit higher, so I said, okay, I'm gonna maybe edge at least. It was live during the cruise. I am crying now. Yesterday is the only day I wasn't on your stream. Oh, sorry, mate. This was not the most easy trade, honestly. It was not a lot of easy trade this past week. Yeah? Apart the one from Sunday, I think it was. Yeah. It was the only easy trade, so it was not this week. All the swine, the finish was so unclean. Didn't have a sweep here. I think I took the short. Yeah, I took the short back here because there was still this kind of trend line. It was easy invalidation. The rip was really aggressive, but it didn't through. It was going for new lows. I'm kind of the iffy price exchange trade. Hello, do you use fractals? I really look like the fractal from 15,400. Well, yeah, sure. Sure. Gonna come back on the fractal, especially, you know, looking at fractal from a Wyckoff or Elliott Wave point of view. That's a lot of fractal. So locally, yeah, here's the idea. Is that we're continuing down and this remains a high. And we don't breach this high. Well, this seems to be 5-ish. That as well. So I think we can still drop here, you know. Locally, then I'm coming into 1 minute count, though. Don't give too much credit to that. The idea is just that if we build a lower high into golden pockets, we have two interesting weekly levels here at 30,150, 30,200. Golden pockets. There is most likely some kind of inefficiency in that move down. Even on the 66, even here, yeah. Inefficiency is mostly just below the golden pocket, but all this area, there's some a few ticks where there is 0. Depending if you do breach this London lows here, well, and sorry, I'm gonna try to clear that up and try again. Try again. Okay. It's either a 1 or an A here, I believe. This is either wave B, or it is just wave, A of B, and maybe we come back lower before getting. So we have our wave B either here or here, and looking for a C. So that's kind of the main idea for me for now. So depending where is the low, if we continue here, or if we drop lower, if we continue from here, maybe that might be a short streak. Anyway, we're gonna have to just count the 5-ish wave from the low we would have built, confirmed, and most likely I'm gonna look for the short here, right, as I suggested here, with a stop, with an invalidation, full invalidation above the high from yesterday. Okay. But that's micro count for 15 minutes. That's still listen frame. I'm getting it. Maybe the 2 is already finished and we collapse from here. I don't know. Sure. Or we do have indeed this kind of tricky flat. Still in A, B, C. In that case, well, we consider this instead of an A, we'll consider it as a 1. And the same applied for here. Either we have or wave 2 or the wave 2 come a bit lower, somewhere here. Golden pockets where you have your stop losses below one of these lows, or even retrace to the very close to the low. As long as this doesn't breach, it can still be higher low. And then we look to counter to finish our wave C. It is the weekend, so if we start to go up and print this, yeah, maybe we will have, in theory I wouldn't want us to go much more above 30,600, but it could even outpace the 160-180 here. A low liquidity weekend might get a bit of bootstrap. You cannot know for sure what will happen. That's the 2 main idea for now. So the short, it's either on a lower high from that 30,400, either basically on a deviation above the 30,450. So would want to have some more data to know where I trigger it, or wait for the reversal and maybe short a lower high. But at that point, if you get a bootstrap like this, probably you're gonna have a short retrace. You're probably not gonna have your golden pocket retracement. That's the 2 main one, right? Yeah, basically that's it. That's all I have. Oh yeah, and I cover this as, yeah, okay. I dive too much quickly, because overall, no impulse here. This has finished wave B, or this has a flat still to finish a wave B and go for the season. as long as we don't bridge a high, we can have multiple. Maybe this is A, B, C, and gonna be W, or A, and we get a B, or we get another C, and we come back. You know, it can still get more tropey. I don't know the future for sure. With how long it took, how it looked right now, I'm willing to consider this as a finish wave B, and I'm willing to consider another move up before it. Or maybe this is wave A, and we have A, B, C as a B for a flat, and we do SFP the low, and we come back, and we finish the B with a flat like this. Could work as well, pretty much. So again, that's why, you know, a short here on a lower high, even if the main count will be a 1, 2, so 3, 4, 5 go down, maybe we have something more tricky, and we're gonna sweep the low again, and we're gonna print an ABC again here, and we're gonna come back into the range and come back, take the stop of this smart short that didn't took profit. Keep the overlap as long as there's liquidity overlap. I just don't know available. I just don't know. Keep the overlap as long as there is liquidity available into the range. I just don't know how much liquidity is remain here to be trapped. I'm reading a bit the comments. Your comment, AE. Super, these fractals are literally similar. And we hold, sorry, what? And the same feeling people called 12k back then, and we hold and then big push, and it's like accumulation, but wave inside, of course. Okay. But wouldn't look for long again in this range low, right? Asking Raven. Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, in fact, if we consider this, I show this, right? If we consider this a flat, maybe we can ignore this part. And then start to print a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with expansion. Right? In theory, that's possible. I'm always open for long right now because we are in a bull trend. And we are at the head of a break, yeah. I'm spreading a lot more shorts in my ideas because they are a bit more simple to grab, maybe. Well, I shared a few good longs as well. That's 50-50. These weeks, the longs were not obvious to me. The finish were not extremely clear. And you know that either this as a wave 4 or a 2, but you know, consider this potentially a flat finish. Well, maybe we have the same here. And in fact, we can and we probably should expect some kind of formation like this when we print a bottom. Some kind of thing that is not necessarily obvious at the beginning. It will become obvious as you get more volume expansion, and you know, maybe you don't go straight without a pullback. You know, you can print a 1, 2 and a sub 1, 2 and go for an extension, right? That you probably will need one if you're already going for the third wave, for the big third wave, I mean, of the third. If I zoom out on the forward, on the daily, yeah. Usually you would like to be able to read on the daily some kind of consolidation where you can at least guess a 1, 2 of some kind. which here was not obvious, but in fact this is probably the one too. At the beginning, yeah, you can clearly read the 1 2. Well, probably a flat here, but anyway. And here it's a bit too tiny. I think there will be at least one more extension. As you know, that doesn't look necessarily extremely whatever right now, but you know, if you start to claim POCs and you have your kind of, I don't know, yeah, head and shoulders or I don't know what kind of pattern you want to call that, or double head and shoulders. Put one here. And you got a really flat ceiling right now. And weird bottom with weird volume and quite a weird event here as well. Good liquidity grab. It doesn't look that bad, you know. I kind of feel it's not finished, but yeah. In fact, I'm coming back on your fractal in a minute, right? I'm just forget one count here. There's as well this, which means you can still be looking for long on a sweep, you know. It's not necessarily easy. We don't have to. You can wait for more confirmation and jump in when there is more confirmation with more aggressiveness, because for now the trend is sideways down. It's down from a week ago. It's sideways for the past few weeks. It's at the bottom of the range. The alternative count is this. Now, how do you finish your 5th wave here? You know, it says that we finished a 3rd, 4, and we still have a 5th to finish an impulse, potentially finishing a wave A, and also valid for the flat, right? It can still lead to expansion back into the range. We test some kind of trend line here, print an LPSY, and come back. Yeah, you know, keep in mind the kind of price action we had here. It was really not obvious to count on the lower time frame here. It lasted some time, right? It was exhausting to count. Might be what we get. So, but each time we bridge a low, we reclaim where short got taken. So if you manage to get a short, at least always take profit when you get the market to change, because you often get back to it, right? Here as well, SFP, you come back, you SFP to take liquidity. Play likewise, even if you know, I'm here to keep Elliott explanation to this, but if this continue for weeks, I might get exhausted at some point as well. Here, if this is the count, well, maybe we have a truncated 5th, or maybe we have one of that 5th. Now, target for the 5th is between here with the length of this. That doesn't make much sense. I think the target for a 3rd is going to be much lower. But maybe we are about to print an ending diagonal, you know? I don't know, something like this, maybe. Maybe try to do that cleaner. Ending diagonal with the overshoot on the 5th. I don't know. You can sweep the low, get a bounce, sweep the low again, maybe the fifth of the fifth gonna be landing on as well, and you're gonna multiple sweeps. What I would like to see, and I'm gonna arrive at the moment when I'm looking at your fractal, is 12 hours have been support as it's kind of here, so it could be. And what you want to see otherwise is a reclaim of the 30,400. You know, if you know this POC here, well, this POC, right? If you claim the bottom of your ceiling here, and you don't do just a bull trap, you know, you do a daily close above here, well, just plays the upside, right? Until then, you can just be more cautious and take profit aggressively any side you've managed to take a good trade. That's gonna be my advice. And yeah, otherwise I would like to see 4 hour get into oversold, have a bit of bull div on oversold, see some more signs on the volume. But maybe the signs that I will see on the volume gonna be on the expansion, right? If we start to claim this and I see the expansion of volume, well, that's gonna be the sign. You know, sometime you got to finish into exhaustion. The other time we had quite the last event, terminal event here, we have expansion of volume, but we had also a lot more aggressiveness into the selling, into the move downs. Then we had accumulation into madness of tradings here. Anyway, you can almost read this similar behavior here. It's kind of weird with wild movement on open interest, and just the volume is dying, but it was also a bit less aggressive in the selling. It's less markdown here. It's just here selling into inefficiency. In fact, aggressive passive selling onto the last move up. As you can see, higher volume, lower volume, squeeze everybody, and now flip the side. Maybe that's what is happening. Seriously, I can see this as beginning of a nice bottoming formation potential. I have my signs that say we closed below the order block. We are losing interest. We are in the middle of summer. I would be prudent rather than anything else. I can expect a squeeze back to the high anyway, and still continuation down. I can expect pretty much anything, right? But I'm not convinced of this as bottom as of yet. You know, like this, it came a bit out of nowhere really aggressively. Then you cannot necessarily predict that precisely. At least we had for our bottom oversold and bull div. We also had funding dipping into negative, which is making me here, you know, between my wave reading saying it's not finished at we dived the toe into neutral negative funding here, and with quite significant open interest. There is a move. There's 24,000 Bitcoin of open interest open since we started the range. And with CVD going down, so building some kind of bullish CVD can be leading. Same way we had a lot of short building up here, here there's kind of long building. That got maybe already closed. Okay, I think I covered my stuff. Oh, a lot of message. Okay, let me look at the fractal you were talking me about, which was the one at 15 1,400. You feel like we are building the same fractal than here. I think it's completed and we can drop. I think it's completed and we can drop again to 29,700. It really looks like, okay, if you put this fractal on it, it's really similar. I am in the same feeling people call 12K, big hold and then big push. It's like accumulation but wave inside. Oops. Major Fibonacci time losing these lows could bleed deep under 26K. If we hold 40K. What? Yeah. Yeah, we're still holding Encore VWAP, we're still holding above 4-hour moving 200 moving average. We are just right in between. You can see on the 12-hour RSI I'm on support. On the daily I'm front running support. On the 4-hour I did not dive into, so we're just in between. Some it's kind of mixed signal right now. That's some time where we finished, right? That was not obvious either. You can read that this as 3-wave. That's not a proper finish. Well, probably it was, right? A proper finish. It was just a triangle and this as a finish. The same here. It doesn't look great. You have an impulse down. So you say, okay, that's not finished. I was looking, initially I long here to play a wave B. But I was looking to sweep that low again, and we never did. And I saw characteristics starting to shift here, so that's when, especially here, as we didn't reject that resistance. I let it grow, but initially when I longed at that point, or even when I longed that low here, I didn't think I was longing the very bottom necessarily. It was not obvious. It became obvious around here. And after you reclaim your resistance, just like the same ceiling that we might be forming. I'm not sure exactly what is fractal then. I'm watching this daily, but only. Sorry, just the acronym was lost. Anyway, that fractal is mind-blowing. Nobody saw it. We are holding over telling me we're probably going up. And welcome, Raven DM. Welcome. I'm just not so sure what are you seeing exactly as a fractal? Sorry, I'm gonna. I don't know what. Sometimes my mouse shortcut just stopped working. Okay. We're gonna take 2 charts, and I'm gonna take a clean one here. And so I guess you're looking at one fractal like this. I'm not sure I'm seeing the fractal here. Oh. Or maybe that part here, and this, and this, and this. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, I could see this ceiling. Come on, can you draw a straight line? A bit similar to this, so maybe on the lower. We could confirm a weekly bearish tier on Sunday. What do you think of that? Do you have a chart of your fractal exactly? Because I'm not sure I'm seeing correctly. I can see some kind of similarities, but I'm not exactly seeing so much of a fractal between the two here. You know, again, just simply approaching this like this, right? You have your pretty clear resistance here. If you start to see sign of strength at claiming this, you just let it go. If you SFP your high, it's a good short. If you SFP 2 time, maybe it is, and at some point it's gonna start to get tricky because you just feel the squeeze. Maybe you wait for markets to change, and then you have again a short. If you start to do this, well, you just let it go because it's gonna continue. Oh, you missed that trade, I don't know. Sorry, I'm coming back quickly here. Now we are going to see expansion here, I guess. I don't know, there is a C. Kind of the same here. It was decently hard selling, but initially I took the short here because I was reading this as ABC, so it was not a nice finish. So I said, okay, ABC flat maybe. Then we have moved down 5-ish, but it doesn't go down. It's a good example of wave structure getting Wyckoff. In terms of divergence, it's part of the mixed signal to me. In terms of weekly bearish div, I'm not so much concerned about this because it is not so much in overbought territory, but well, that is, I mean, we already had one confirmation here. Maybe that's what make me consider this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, and that maybe we're gonna have a lot more downside here. Yeah, March, not bad. Maybe we are going into a 1, 2, you know, that's one of the alternative count. But usually I prefer when it's a bit more into boat territory, not assault. Like here on the 3-day, you know, we didn't really touch a resistance here either. I'm gonna look at trend resistance like this on the other side. Kind of front run here as well. So we're in the middle. You can see there's place for both sides here. Now we reach overbought, so maybe the idea is to reach at least trend line support on a daily, but the other time I got front run on that, so I dive into the 12-hour. 12-hour was more precise. Now it is just very slightly front trend. Oh, now we have a 12-hour oversold on MFI. Okay. So 12-hour telling me maybe. Or stochastic that are starting to trend up again, coming from oversold. Been a decent buy indicator. liquidity. You know, it felt a bit early. The bottom. I don't see major warning. I see some. I see that. I see it is trappy. I was expecting more expansion the other time, and that worried me a bit to see that it was not able to go up more than this, and there was more efficient move down than up. Now with what is happening here, I just don't know before it breaks, you know. And as much as I would really prefer to see forward reversal, my daily support touch, my fear and greed index dipping into fear again, having a bit more organic bull div, you know, all that kind of stuff. I believe overall that we are in a very bullish structure and heading toward a big expansion, and so that can come anywhere, anytime. And a new beginning of a bear div can break anytime. Especially here, you know, it's not. Consider this: you had. That is a nice bear div. We had overbought, very overbought, bear div in overbought. Yet, on the big time frame, you have a very strong bear div. Well, you still managed to get the high again. You have a very more steep bear div, and you still manage to get the high again. You have a little one here. At some point, it's play out, but in the mid time, when you zoom out, it doesn't seem that big, but you know, you'll still have, well, 30%, $7,500 expansion. All that to say, bear div. That on a weekly time frame, I'm, you know, I rather want to see really overbought condition. Even here, that was a bit cleaner. And you had some bear div here that didn't play out. I think so, right? Yeah, because you have a lower high here on the small time frame. Or equal, at least. And higher high here. So you can have a bear div. Didn't really play. And I'm sure you can find others. MFI has been overbought. Yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about this, but yeah. At least that makes me consider the validity of this as potentially a fifth wave, and maybe we are about to enter a deeper correction. Not excluding this at all, but we just need to break the range down and see expansion down for me to be confident into this. We can still have expansion up here, have a wave 1, have a wave 2, 3, 4, 5, and then okay. But locally that doesn't give me much, and yeah, short or lower high overall. We could confirm, okay, I see that it's completed 5 waves in +2, and the fact we couldn't get to break 32.4 is kind of sucky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On the FOMO news like this, it didn't manage to go much higher. That's true. That's kind of tricky. At the same time, on an over leverage market, with the drop, you can see the drop on open interest on this high time frame, means that all the FOMO here got squeezed on that move. Everything. You know, maybe it was distribution. At the same time, you already built back a lot more open interest, at least on linear contracts, right? All of this, okay, trap long, stopped or liquidate on this. Short side, cool. That can be a formation of overall some kind of distribution, but before the range break, I don't. And here, that can be the formation of reaccumulation. Open interest, okay. Before it break, I don't know. I don't know. What is the indicator that I'm using for RSI? I don't remember the name. It's just RSI plus MFI. It's simple as that. From Cryptoda. I like it, yeah. Yeah, because it shows the oversold condition in a very clear way. In the comments. Had to go, so I'm watching 5 minutes ago and earlier. Okay. No problem. I think I'm gonna finish the stream now. It's been, I've been, yeah, rambling long enough, I think. Away. Still not breaking the high. I give a short opportunity, a long while now it's kind of looking like we might not get a long opportunity. Well, as long as we don't breach this morning high here, there might still be an opportunity to long a sweep of this low. You know, if anyway we come back here, could be possible, but or maybe this is an internal chart. Maybe a higher low here. Kind of tricky. And a good long the underway structure. I was really looking for this A, B, C. That would have been a better long into golden pocket and what's so. And you know, ideally just below here. We bridge this before we bridge this. That can be a nice one. Not saying it's gonna succeed. Sure, I will never say such a thing anyway. At that point, you know, partial take profit above the high, stop tighten, and overall take profit. Well, second take profit for me will be here, you know, bigger golden pockets, and then the rest as an edge to continue. And I'm gonna not necessarily take profit here, but rather short again. If it doesn't go down that much, I don't know, maybe you could consider something more aggressive here. Gonna feel like FOMOing on the sweep of this. Or even this, I don't know. Fine. Actually. No, yeah, I mean it's preferable here. You don't have to keep the stop here, you know. So it's an invalidation. Got your reaction. Can after reaction and after it stop, of course. But I don't know, maybe it will dip to 886. Hello, Queenie. I'm gonna let you watch a replay. Yeah, not excluding long, favoring short. Let me delete this. I forget how long to maybe talk about here. It's wherever we print a high here. If we do, well, I know it's gonna be more simple. This flat. So if we don't dive here, the next long could be, yes, here. To play a flat. Let's see again. It's almost a trick. That cube here. It's not huge country, so I would. Play at POC. Or the 1-1, or even the 90%, in fact. That short is valid both ways, and otherwise, reminding the confluence. Oh, it's that line. Oh, maybe a bit. That obviously on an SFP of the high here to give the invalidation. Just to make this a bit cleaner. So in fact, look for internal first and external then. So look for either high or low, or low high, and then SFP on one side. Pretty much it. Not so bad. Not so bad of a plan. No, sorry. I don't want to. I wanted to do bad. Just for the screenshot, you know, in case all of them plays out, especially. Hey, SW, like Queenie, I'm gonna let you watch the replay. Were you napping together, guys? No worries. Anyway, thanks for joining. And so everybody, don't forget to leave a like. If you like it, subscribe if you're not already. And you like it. And share, spread the content. Growth as well. I can help. Can be appreciated. On that good words, I wish you all a nice weekend. Take care. See you soon. Yeah, make sure like. Okay, bye for now.